I spit rare, we shine a deck. Ray Area Podcast, they talk about hip-hop all the way in the UK, so they gon' get props. Ooh, let me catch it once again. Every time I'm spitting, I'll be
I like Denzel Curry, but I can't say I'm a massive fan. And I was only really introduced to Denzel Curry, 2-3 years ago.
Really?
I didn't write. Yeah. I wasn't on that wave. Like, his albums, I've listened to all of them, but it's not. This is the first album that's come. Well, actually, no, that's a lie.
Yeah, because you've been gassed. Yeah, I swear you were gassed about Denzel.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's a lie. It was Unlocked. So Unlocked, when that came out, that's when I ran through that wave. But I wasn't through the wave with Taboo and what's his other album? Am I right by saying it's Zulu or something like that? What's it called?
Zulu, yeah, Zulu.
Yeah. But no, I was gassed because I think, again, it was Sean that said about Denzel Curry. And I saw something with Joe Denton saying he's like the best live because he's got the most energy. So I was like, oh, let me check this guy out. And then I was like, oh, damn, I didn't realize he was this good. Like, he's something else.
Trust me, the same with me, it's the man that wasn't here right now, Sean, he sent me Taboo as well. I listened to it. It connected it, but it's like not all of it connected though. I think because it's an album that's in like parts and waves, like some parts connected with me, some parts didn't at all. And I think that's what made it hard for me to keep going back to it, even though I do actually love it. And right now I'm listening to it a bit more, but I clocked also. I had this I was going through Denzel's discog and I realized I really liked that song Ultimate, which was his breakthrough song.
Didn't you guys listen to Ultimate when it came out? That song was popping.
I loved Ultimate a lot,
That style of rapping was it ushered in people like Trippie Redd and all that. He was like the father of that flow because he was just shouting and it was crazy.
The way it's a meme though, and it's so funny when you listen to the song and think about like a meme moment. It's the perfect TikTok song before TikTok as well. Right?
The drop is hard.
Oh, the drop is so crazy.
But I don't know. I'm sad that Sean's not here to talk about Denzel Curry in more depth. But really, all I heard was Ultimate. Then I listened to Unlocked because it had the Kenny Beat stuff on it, and then Unlocked 1.5. And then that's it. Now we're here listening to this.
So all of us are sporadic, innit? Like we've had some history, but not much.
I was never keeping up with him. I had him in the same boat as XXXTentacion and Trippie Redd. I was like, if he has a hit, I guess I'll hear it. But he hasn't really had many breakthrough hits.
Yeah, I can't say he has had it because the one song, but I can't say it's a breakthrough hit is Diet because obviously Diet did the Colours. He was on Colours, wasn't he? And obviously the way he performed that was amazing. But you can't say it's a breakout hit. It's not like something that is being played out non-stop. That's the thing. That's what I find weird about Denzel Curry. He's really talented. His music's amazing, but you can't say that he's out there. Like I reckon if you went into the main public and you started asking who's Denzel Curry, they wouldn't be able to tell you who he is.
They might know. They might know Ultimate though. Ultimate is quite.
But they wouldn't know Denzel Curry, would they? They wouldn't.
No, it's only main rap heads that know about Denzel Curry. That's the thing.
Yeah, but I guess that's the best point to move on to the album then, because I really, really like this album. I'm gonna preface it and say
this album's amazing.
But then it made me think: was I missing out on something up until now? And I don't think I was. I think this is the first kind of move he's made in this type of direction. Like sonically, I've heard him on these type of beats.
Yeah, this is the first time he's put it all together. Because I listened to all the albums because I was trying to see has he done this before? I don't really think he has, and I think this is why I didn't go back to his albums because half of them sometimes he's just on different vibes. I think this time he really put together that whole sound that we wanted to hear from him. And he does do hype tracks, he does do calm tracks, but it blends. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't do too much of either, does he? There's not 5 hype tracks in a row, things like that.
And have you guys found any themes in this album?
I don't know.
Sean got us on one though, didn't he? With that John Wayne.
Well, yeah. Don't you find that the first few tracks kind of go hand in hand with all each other? Not even just because of the transitions, even what he's saying, they go
lyrically
in hand. Yeah. So
definitely.
You could try and pick up that's a sort of a theme because I actually even feel from Melt Session all the way up to Mental is I don't know. It's almost like a story.
I think that's I think that's glued. Definitely, yeah. It's I think is it like Jesus Through the Desert, but also John Wayne, this cowboy kind of feel as well. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting.
I hear what you're saying because he's saying a lot as well, from the bat, when you listen to Melt Session, some of the stuff that he's talking about is just, it's so like personal to himself, and where he's talking about like his vulnerabilities as well. And I'm just thinking, damn, because then it moves on so well to Walking. But even though shit is happening, I've got to keep on walking. I think the two songs go hand in hand, and then it's like I said, and then it's worse comes to worse. It's like it's a story that is just like traveling on, and it just.
Trust me. Can I say something actually? Because Sean said something else in the group that made me clock this album differently as well. And I think if he didn't tell us this, I wouldn't have understood it that much. Like, I know Denzel makes like these depressed songs, or like these songs where he's like talking like, I've gone through something, but like I'm riding on this wave right now to feel good about it. Something like that. And then the songs like that, like Troubles and things like that on this album. But I didn't actually understand what he's talking about. And me and Sean were talking about it on the group and stuff. Like Denzel has these personalities, and like they actually all are him. It's not like fake stories that he's making up, but like he splits them kind of thing. Yeah. And one of his personalities is someone that got abused as a child, isn't it? And I feel like that just like really fucked him up to a point where like you can hear him on this, like he says some stuff like, oh man, on the ills. I think that's the song where he really like wraps it all up. Like, this is what I've gone through in my life. Like, this is what it's done to me, and like how it's made me end up. But yeah, I think like everything just clicked when Sean told us that.
Yeah, my thing with this album is as well, I feel like definitely, like we said, Denzel Curry's one of those people that reinvented himself every album. Like, he's a completely different person. But I feel like on this album, he's like, yeah, forget all those other alter egos and stuff. Like, this is me. Like, there's multiple sides and parts to me, yeah, but like this album, this project is just me. And I personally feel like the way it starts, it's like, I don't know if it's bringing you into the same world that he's in, but it's definitely bringing you into a vibe.
Oh, without doubt, definitely.
It's blissful.
Just with
like
the
it's so blissful. Yeah. Damn. But the drum switch, my main point that I wrote was the drum switch in Walking, which I didn't actually clock when he dropped it as a single. But the more I listened to it, I was like, hold on, wait, is this the same song anymore? And I keep having to go back on the song and then like putting it back to where I was. And I'm like, it's mad. Like, it's this dusty hip hop to start with. And then it goes into like kind of like trap or like modern hip hop styles. It's just incredible.
I love it because he changes up the flow, because the whole like sort of like started. But it's funny because it almost ties in with like the title of the song, Walking, because he's walking and it starts off, yep, nice, just the gentle walk going, then the drum switches, and then when he switches up that flow, it's like a fast, brisk paced walk, and it's like just when that bridge is repeating, and it's just brilliant because it all relates to the title of the track. It's just amazing. It's well produced, and the flows that Denzel is on, and just lyrically, he's
lyrically, it's the best he's ever been, like throughout every song, to be honest.
That's what I wanted to say. I'm obviously not a Denzel Curry fan, and I would say none of us really are, but this is a very good, mature album. Like, I think the problem is, he even says it somewhere in the album, he goes, Jay-Z dropped his first album at 26 and this, that, whatever. Like, he's very conscious of the fact that like all the great rappers had to reach a certain age before they were able to rap at this level, and I think he's quite conscious of the level that he's rapping at.
Because it's like I can't remember the song with the Run the Jewels line with LP. Oh, I was just like,
he said, I'm killing these mics on the LP. So, yeah, I know the track.
I can't remember what song.
Wait, I've got the quote. So he says, "Run the jewels because I killed the mic with that on LP," something like that. It's
something like that.
It's on Ain't No Way. It's the way he drops it. So he comes on the third verse, I think. On that song,
weird as well. On his own track, he's coming last.
Then Jid, and then he comes and he kills it differently on that one.
Oh, it's just... That's the thing. What do we think of the features as well? Sorry, I was thinking because some of the features were good on here, weren't they?
Features, yeah. I like T-Pain's feature. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't know about his verse, but I like how he's like ad-libbing.
I really didn't care for it. I don't know if I'm missing out on something, but
it's a grower. It's a grower.
It's a grower because I feel what you're saying, because I was like that, because you come from Mental, which is just a vibe to me, because that song is just unbelievable, and I'm in a good place. I'm loving that song, and then get to Troubles, and when I hear T-Pain, I'm like, oh, this is a bit like, I don't know if I'm feeling.
It's a bit silly. It's a bit silly.
But it grows on you. Every time I go back to the album, I'm like, no, this is not bad. And
it's like Swimming Pools, I think, as well. Like, like Swimming Pools, it's got this like fun, upbeat vibe, but it's deep lyrics in it as well. Like the first lyrics, kind of like, I've got too many troubles for these drugs, something like that drugs can't heal. Something like that in it, and it was just hitting, definitely hitting me.
Yeah, it's definitely a grower.
I just really wasn't here for it. As soon as I saw it had T-Pain on, I was like, what is this going to sound like? And I think
It's bizarre, innit?
I think I put myself out of it mentally. You know, sometimes when you spoil something for yourself, and it's like, I don't want to hear T-Pain doing all that bullshit. And he didn't do all that bullshit per se, but it just wasn't.
The beat knocks, you know. I think if you listen on nice speakers, the beat will knock.
Yeah,
well, it's Kenny Beats, isn't it? Kenny Beats doing it again, man. That's the
no
thing.
wonder. I was thinking this sounded familiar. Those kicks.
Yeah, that guy is just something else, man. Because the beat is just great, and then because you hear at the beginning, he puts his tag in it. Oh, Kenny, and it's just like, oh, yeah, here we go again. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
The other feature that got me was Zatoichi, which I didn't actually like until like an hour ago when I was listening to it. I was like,
you're like me.
Yeah, I was like, hold on, this is
came out. I didn't like it, but then in the album, it sounds amazing. I'm like, what is this?
Denzel's talking. He's talking on these verses again as well.
Yeah, exactly. Lyrically, it's just too much, honestly. And
because it's hard though.
Yeah,
so tight. He brings. I'm proud of him because he does UK. This is so UK, isn't it? Like he's doing drum and bass rapping on this, and he represents. It doesn't sound odd though. It suits like Denzel's hype style, like that ultimate era,
big time.
Thing.
I was gonna say the feature on Sanjuro is my favorite at the moment.
Oh my goodness, yeah, Sanjuro. I forget that was a feature because Denzel's so good on that.
4. Whoever that guy is, he deserves an award, man. I was listening to that, I was like, this is hard. Like he
sounds a bit like 48 Dunks though, don't you think?
Yeah, he sounded familiar, and that's why I checked. I was like, never heard of this guy before, never heard of this barcode of a man before.
Denzel on that song though. Denzel on that song is crazy. Like the second verse, especially when he comes with that melodic thing. When I was trying to pick my favorite songs, I was struggling in it. I'm going to say it now. Like, there's so many songs on this album that I could have picked as my favorite.
Yeah, no, same. So, all right, we've got some themes and some topics, but can we like talk through the sequencing of the album? Because I feel like we always kind of talk about this and say, oh, it wasn't sequenced well, blah, blah, blah. But for me, the album's not that badly sequenced until it gets to The Smell of Death. The Smell of Death for me is kind of takes me out the vibe. So for 9 tracks strong, 10 tracks strong, I was vibing. Like it wasn't like a seamless vibe, but I was enjoying it. But as soon as I got to The Smell of Death, I was like, but it's so short that I wasn't too bothered by it.
The thing with me and Smell of Death is I like how it bridges Sanjuro. Is it? Or is it?
Yeah, it does.
Angels and Sanjuro. Yeah. I kind of like that mood because Sanjuro is a bit, and Sanjuro comes in so good after The Smell of Death as well. But I do get how it is. It's a snap after Angels. You're vibing. You're like, whoa. I mean, it's like a boom bap, but it's like fresh in it. It's kind of like that Joey Badass kind of sounds. But no, I hear what you're saying. It didn't grate me though.
Nah,
I was going to say
not
I was going
unlistenable.
to say the same. Yeah,
it was just a bit different. I was a bit like, where am I? I thought the album had ended. To be honest, that's how different it felt to me. I was like, oh, there's the album.
I don't really understand. I don't understand that song, to be honest. But I guess it links to the themes of death, like suicide. There's a few of those themes in it as well, just throughout the album.
Yeah,
it's something like that. But
for me, it's a bit of a weird part in the album. But all in, the production of this album's great. Like for me, I don't know about you lot. Some of these beats might be my beat of the year. Come review time.
No, this album's produced like a classic. Like it's like every single song has a hard beat that is memorable and catchy.
There's a lot of boom.
And he said before definitely. He said before the album he's going to play around with something like that, but he wants the production to be more. He said something, because would you even say that some of it's like neo soul and stuff? Because he said before the album was good, because I do get a vibe, because you just, some of these beats you are just vibing. I'll go back to
Angels, the
Angels
Ills,
is amazing.
Mental,
just the intro.
It's worst come to worst as well. Is that neo soul?
I'm trying.
Oh, sorry, think out loud. That one's not really. There's a lot of boom bap on this album, which I actually really liked, because I think boom bap's an interesting sound because it fell out of mainstream rap, but he uses it here really interestingly. I think like it's artistic.
I think it's coming back though. I think that sound's coming back because people are realizing you can get some of your best flows off on beats like that, like drill beats and trap beats and all that kind of stuff. They force you into like a very there's less space in them. But that's not to say all beats are like that, but some definitely are. And with boom bap beats, there's so much space and freedom and pockets that you can enter that, you know, I think a lot of people, especially rappers of Denzel's caliber, are aware that they're probably better suited to what he's trying to say.
Oh, definitely.
How are we feeling? Okay, there was two songs I thought that were a bit sus. That I'm not gonna lie. Like the last sounds a bit like a Sabbath song, and X-Wing sounds like a Gunner song.
Yeah, you know what?
Is everyone saying
I wasn't. Yeah, you know what? I wasn't really feeling X-Wing. I can't lie to you. X-Wing was a bit hit and miss for me.
I see who would like it, and I see that he's actually doing it well too. But it's not for me, innit? Like if I want that, I'll just go to Gunner and listen to that.
Do you know what's funny though? I my notes from this album, I put the beat on X-Wing is amazing, but that means I didn't listen to the lyrics. I didn't listen to the lyrics, man. I just let the beat bang, and I was like, oh, this is hard. But like when I went on my second list, I was like, oh, this is X-Wing. You know what I mean? I was like, because I remember the beat, but I don't remember the lyrics. I was like, that's a sign that, you know, maybe that's the track that might go. You know what I mean? You know, some tracks that just off an album get
that could get cut for sure. Yeah, for sure. The one that I think the beat that I loved and was like shocked by today, so was Zatoichi, because it's not about how it switches to the drum bass, but you know that vocal in it is it's so beautiful, and you could tell that that's not a sample. Like he just got someone to sing that. I don't know who it was, but it sounds incredible.
Yeah,
it's just so well done.
That's like neo soul in it.
Yeah, production wise, it's like neo soul and stuff. But I think the part that we're missing maybe is the fact that this is an experimental project. Even though it feels like it should all be one thing, even the artwork kind of gives you that hint that this is experimental because of just how fuzzy and like what's that phrase? I don't know the phrase, but it's artistic. The cover, it's all blurry and all that kind of stuff. So maybe we kind of didn't go into it thinking the right stuff.
Exactly, because that makes a lot of sense, because when Zatoichi came out as a single, I just was not feeling it at all. Yeah, because you come from Walking, and I loved Walking, and then you get Zatoichi, and I was like, oh, I don't know where he's going with this. But then when you're in the project and you're listening to it, I'm like, this is absolutely amazing. And you get the feel, and it's actually one of my favorite songs off the album, which is crazy, really, because I never would have thought that going into the album beforehand. I would have thought, oh, no, I don't know where he's going with this, but it's brilliant. Works so well.
Yeah. I think for me, this album, what stands out the most to me is the beat selection. The beat selection is amazing.
100%.
But lyrically, you know, he's holding his own. And even though there's no massive features per se on here, there's no one who's really gonna, you know, rap against him per se. None of the features feel rubbish or out of place, which is interesting, because that normally there's a point where you go, oh, that person sounds a bit weird on this and that person sounds a bit weird on that. And even when I saw Ain't No Way, how many features there are on that, I was like,
it's packed, isn't it?
I was like, this is going to sound like a mess, but it really doesn't. Like even Rico Nasty, she comes in on that verse sounding like Eminem in Stan. She's like, I'm like, oh,
she was the flow Rico came and I was shocked. I'm always thinking like, oh, I'm not gonna like this one, but yeah, that flow is good.
Yeah, I was surprised by that.
Jid's good as well, though.
Jid just frustrates me though, because I'm just waiting for this guy to drop his album. But anyway, yeah, he did come in nicely, because that song surprised me, because I going into it and seeing all those features, I was like, oh god, what am I going into? But everyone slotted in really nicely, and it's like you said, where Denzel going in last, but he kills his verse though, man. I'm sorry, like everyone else did well, but Denzel just I'm maybe that's why he wants to go, because he just slayed everyone. That's the feeling I get from that song, big time.
Yeah,
wasn't taking any prisoners.
I think it's one of those ones as well. I think he's been rapping since he was about, I mean, if we do the maths, probably since he's about 19, 20. Like he's been famous since then, because Ultimate came out in 2015 or 2014, let's say. So he's technically trying to battle against the war of being a one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
And even Ultimate lyrically is actually interesting, because he's saying stuff. He's not just saying a whole bunch of rubbish. He's like, do you know what I mean? He's saying a whole bunch of shit, but I feel like now he's got more mature. He's kind of let that side of him go a bit, and you can...
There's actually a lyric he says.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. There's a lyric he actually says in the Ills, I think it is. Or it might be Angels. I can't remember which one. But he says... Because, you know, he made a song called Alt after making Ultimate. And it's like just ULT. And it's like a sequel kind of song. And I think the whole... Do you know that hype Denzel? Like, he's hearing a lot of songs since then. I thought that's basically all he does as well, really. Like, until we heard this album, it's like, wow, so much more layers coming into it. But what he says one of the lyrics is like, he tapped into and played the masses kind of thing. Like, he just played into the favor of what he thought people wanted from him as well. But it's like... that wasn't actually doing him good in a way, because I feel like personally for me, every time that kind of vibe was overdone, it was holding me back from being a fan of him. Where like here, he's like really, he holds back that old persona till Sanjuro, to be honest. I don't think he actually does it in any other part of his album.
Yeah, it's a good point actually. I don't think he does. Yeah, I think Sanjuro is the only one because
Sanjuro's definitely old, isn't it?
Yeah, because that's how I even got into Denzel Curry anyway, with all that like sort of hypeness. But this album's so beautiful that you don't need that.
You don't need it. You don't need it or want it.
Yeah, you go in thinking, oh yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, going into this album, I'm like, because he is hyped, and I've seen him well, I've not seen him live, but seen videos of him live, and he like looks like one hell of a performer, especially with the hype tracks that he's doing. But this album shows there's so much more than just that side of him. He could
literally be a great rapper. Like, he could be one of the best rappers we've heard, because I think he's got that DMX tone in his voice that's DMX, like absolutely incredible. But it's like that's not even what he needs to do. You know, like with X, it was like that's just his only voice he's got.
Yeah.
Like Denzel could enter that, but then go into other stuff as well. Like it is cool what he does on The Last and on X-Wing, because he shows he can flex in like another way too.
Yeah.
He's so talented with like microphone control.
And I'm glad he showed that on this album as well, because it reaches out, that it shows he's so much versatile. Because that's the thing, because people will just think he's just like one style, and he's not. He's shown to everyone within this album, he can do it well in all different types of ways.
Yeah, listeners, you might realise that Sean's not here today. He's taking a bit of a break. Don't worry, he's not gone forever. He'll be back. But we've got some words from Sean here, and obviously it's about this album. It's not about you lot, unfortunately. But so I'll read it out now. I won't impersonate him because that's just rude. But he said,
"No, I might as well, man."
I can't do it.
Hi guys, my name is Sheep. Sorry, didn't mean to.
Oh, no.
I'm leaving that in. I'm not even editing that out. Like, oh wait, we've got Sean. Oh no, we haven't, because I ain't got the fucking board on. Hold on, let's bring Sean back.
Oh, Sam, I ain't heard a board in a minute.
Yeah.
Edit the fuck out.
Today's felt different.
There he is.
There's Sean. There's Sean. He's with us. But this is Sean's words. Obviously, when I'm saying I, it means him, not me. But yeah, he said, "I've said for about 2 years that I think both in terms of quality and quantity, Freddie Gibbs is the best rap artist since 2018. I think it's about time that Denzel Curry was in that conversation too. From Taboo to Zoo to his work with Kenny Beats and now this, Denzel's discography is strong and versatile. And the progression from his earlier projects and Raider Clan days is impressive. With Melt My Eyes, it felt like Denzel has merged the strongest aspects from his past works, and it's come together as his most complete and mature project to date. However, I still feel like Denzel hasn't peaked, and maybe his best days are yet to come. I would be surprised if this album isn't in most of our top fives when it comes to the mid-year reviews." And that's from Sean.
Edit the fuck out of
that. Obviously, we've got his favourite tracks here and his scores and stuff. But yeah, we'll do that when we're doing that. But actually, we could do it now. So I might as well just say Sean's favourite tracks are "Walkin'," one of the songs of the year so far, "John Wayne," and "X-Wing." So yeah, what's everyone else?
Sean usually never mentions pre-releases in his top three. So I was surprised he did that.
Yeah,
that's atypical. Times have changed.
What about you, Kieran? What's your top three?
Oof. Like I said, this was so hard. I swear it's changing all the time. Like I literally just changed it while we were on the call just now. I put mental in. Do you know why? Because I think that hook is just the hook of the project. It's all in your mental.
Beautiful.
Theo, sing it, Theo. I know you could do it.
Oh man, you put me on the spot now.
Sorry. I was expecting you to sing it at one point. You know.
Jeez. Oh, that hook is amazing.
I wish that. Jeez. I wish.
It's all in your mental.
Oh, that hook is fire.
I wish Denzel had another verse on that, but I do. I love it.
So
anyway.
do I, because I feel that song ends too quickly for me because it's that good.
Yeah. Shit, man. It's between Angels and Ills. I actually can't choose because those songs are so similar. I can't pick between those two, and the other one is Zatoichi. Like I just put that on today because that was hitting so different.
Cool, Theo. What about you?
Yeah, well, Kieran's got most of mine because I'm exactly the same. Mental, definitely. Zatoichi, because I can't believe how amazing. I can't stop playing it because that is hitting different for me as well. I can't stress how like
Is it the
I
beat?
heard it as a single.
What is it?
I can't stress enough that how I heard that as a single. I was like, I am not feeling this. I don't know where this album's going. To then listening to it in the album, I'm like, this is just next level. And I'm like, I keep going back to it. I'm like, this is just unbelievable. And like you said, Kieran, as well before, he is talking like it's a just joke, and just the way he's rapping. So that definitely goes in. And then the other one has to probably even, I'm not going to lie, Melt Session, because I think that's a great opener to the album.
Yeah, it is.
Fire. So I have to put that in as well, actually.
Yeah, my honorable mention is Melt Session, but for me, it's Walking, Ain't No Way, and Sanjuro. I don't know why.
Oh, Sanjuro, man. Sanjuro is a hype tune.
Ain't No Way got me because of Rico Nasty's flow. She definitely made me kind of sit back and go, who is this? Like, am I in a different timeline when Eminem's a woman or something? Because like I was feeling Eminem vibes off of that flow.
Mm-hmm.
And
I like the Kinjidoro reference on Sanjuro.
Yeah, that was weird. He said
It's such a weird
I
one.
was like, isn't that Godzilla or whatever? You know what I mean? I was like, what the hell is that? I was like, it's a big snake thing. So Sean's score is an 8.4. So he's ranked it pretty highly. We haven't got him here to defend his score, but you've heard his little speech thing. So I think he really likes this project. But 8.4 is not bad. I'm sitting at a nice round 8.
Nice. I can go next. I've gone for a nice 8.3.
Mine was 8.2. But I think it'll go up, to be honest.
You think it'll go up?
Oh, so what would I say? Yeah, I
think
hear
it could
that
go
as
up.
well.
It's growing on me. Yeah. Do you know what it is? The middle of this album, I was like, it wasn't my favorite part, really, but I don't know. It's growing on me now. And like even Zatoichi as well. This album's just growing on me.
Yeah, I hear that a lot because that's what I thought. It's definitely solidly an 8 and it's gone up for me. So it's at 8.3 at the moment. But this could go up as well for myself because this keeps getting better.
It could be 8.6 or something. Yeah, I'm not going to lie, but I just didn't want to... I overrate it too much. I wasn't trying to do it this time.
All in, we're at 8.2. So that's not bad. We're kind of getting closer in our scores all the time. I don't know what that's about, but it's definitely... It's a sign that it's a good project. So we're all enjoying it.
It's amazing. Let's be real. It is an amazing project. I think I prefer it over Saba's one, which we didn't review, but I also like that.
See, that's one thing that's quite sad. Because I actually really enjoyed that album. I feel like maybe I'm on my own enjoying that, but I like the vibe of it.
I love the vibe, the beats.
I've been chatting about that album for time.
The second half of that album is perfection.
Yeah,
honestly.
I like some of the vibes of it. It's got this like neo soul-y, funky vibe, and I'm here for that.
Exactly. Oh, and it's brilliant. I love Saba's
Don't
album.
worry, man. We love it.
Yeah,
we love it.
Especially the way he ends that song, and when like the features as well on that are brilliant. So
it's just for me, just comparing them nonsensically, I think Denzel shows he raps like incredibly on this, whereas Saba doesn't really show that on his one.
Exactly. That's
Yeah, no, there is definitely that. But I think, you know, when you're an artist, you have the freedom to go for different vibes and try different things. And I think that's probably what both of them are doing. But more so Denzel Curry, he feels comfortable going for these different...
This is a brave experimentation he's done.
Hey, it's your boy Theo, and thanks for listening to the Grey Area Podcast. Now, go over and check the Discord. We got loads of different playlists for you guys to check out. And most importantly of all, we want to hear from our community. So go over and check it out. You might get a free seasoning pack. Peace.